Can I get a glass of water? I'm serious. I'm thirsty. Can I get a glass of water? This is not a prank. You never seen it?
No.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Oh,
it's amazing.
No.
He gets a glass of Flint tap water, and I swear to God, he drinks it like this.
Problem is solved?
Bullshitting the world. Watch this.
Can I get some water? I really did need a glass of water. This is not a stunt.
Usually when something isn't a stunt, you have to say that.
Speaking of Barack Obama, he decided to drop a post on X today, and I thought, okay, maybe in the wake of the Pete Hegseth presser, he's going to say something like, no matter how you feel about the Iranian strike, hats off to our, boys in blue, our guys in the bombers. He went a different way. This is what it was.
Curious how you're thinking about this eulogy specifically in the moment and all the tensions that you just brought out.
I didn't even want to talk. I was so mad. Part of the reason I think I ended up having anything to say.
Barack Obama's carefully maintained persona just got a humorous takedown thanks to Joe Rogan and Megyn Kelly. With no filter and plenty of heat, they cut through the illusions, expose the inconsistencies, and turn his legacy into a showcase of political drama. No script can rescue him this time, just unfiltered, hard-hitting truth delivered with sharp wit. If you believed Obama's charisma could overshadow the critiques, this roast shows the spotlight is finally punching holes in the image.
That speech, when he gave a speech on television, and everybody was like, this. And then they go, it kind of just went away.
It was one of the most beautiful moments in modern American history. People really actually stood up and stopped.
We'll be remiss if we do not do at least one clip from the Barack Michelle Obama appearance, the podcast, because everybody thinks they're getting a divorce, and let's face it, they probably are. She dragged him onto her show with brother Craig.
Barack Obama could give a TED Talk about brushing his teeth and still manage to sound like he's curing global poverty while riding a wave of self-importance. As he coasts through life on a breeze of confidence built from Netflix contracts and throwback speeches, Joe Rogan and Megyn Kelly came in and burst that oversized ego with words as sharp as Michelle's arms. This wasn't a gentle tap, it was a full-on verbal takedown, leaving no space for sugar-coated politeness or that all-too-familiar presidential glow.
Children. And in fact, a lot of what they campaigned on, they don't practice at all. Great example is the Obama administration. The Hope and Change website had to be changed because there was a bunch of stuff in there about whistleblowers.
No, I don't think Mr. Snowden was a patriot. I called for a thorough review of our surveillance operations before Mr. Snowden made these leaks. My preference would have been for a lawful, orderly examination of these laws.
Protecting whistleblowers, which they didn't do at all. There was one of the worst administrations for whistleblowers.
Let's start with Joe Rogan, a guy who's interviewed everyone from brain scientists and UFC fighters to stand-up comics, astronauts, and the occasional raw liver enthusiast. Even he couldn't resist digging into the polished layers of the Obama myth. You might assume a former president would be above Rogan's radar, but when your post-White House life starts to look like a money-making tour dressed up in repurposed campaign catchphrases, you're open season. Rogan honed in on the absurdity of a man who once claimed to get everyday Americans, then promptly vanished into a world of gated estates, luxury jets, and magazine spreads with his wife looking like she's gunning for global royalty.
This is definitely not helping the Democrats knowing what we now have confirmed about Biden.
Give me some volume and go full screen.
What you know now, do you wish you had a third term? You know what, if I could make an arrangement where I had a stand-in, a front man or front woman, and they had an earpiece in, and I was just in my basement in my sweats looking through the stuff, and then I could sort of deliver the lines, but somebody else was doing all the talking and ceremony, I'd be fine with that.
We know he wasn't really running the country. Yeah. We used to think he was actually running the country, and now they're like, no, he didn't even see those executive orders. That was all auto-pen.
While Obama was busy racking up accolades just for showing up, Megyn Kelly wasn't about to let the story go unchallenged. She came out swinging with her signature style, a mix of seasoned news anchor, sharp-tongued trial lawyer, and fed-up mom who just caught her kid lying about finishing their homework. She broke down the Obama years like a closet stuffed with designer suits that somehow stayed trendy, even while collecting dust. Her favorite target? That shiny illusion of Obama as the perfect, untouchable symbol of hope, change, and boundless wisdom. Spoiler alert, Megyn tore that image apart with the precision of a TSA agent spotting a suspicious bottle at airport security.
People like, maybe it's the old sperm, maybe it's not the vaccine that's causing the autism.
Yeah,
you know, why don't you look at that?
They'll never let that secret out.
Good luck with that one.
That may be the key behind all the defunding everything.
What? What is this?
And don't get it twisted, they didn't go easy on Michelle either. If Barack was the voice of the brand, Michelle was the marketing team, creative director, and lifestyle guru all rolled into one. It wasn't enough that she turned kale into a nationwide punishment. She did it while guilt-tripping kids into choking down cafeteria quinoa, all while her own family enjoyed gourmet meals at state banquets. This is the same woman who gave a speech about equity while rocking heels that cost more than what many Americans earn in a week. But hey, please, tell us more about sacrifice.
Joan Rivers said that Michelle Obama was a man before she died.
Was that a joke? I thought it was a joke.
I thought it was a joke too, but the way she said it wasn't like jokey. She was like, oh, come on, everybody knows Michelle Obama's a man. Like, remember that?
Yeah, like, would Big Mike kill you for that?
Rogan took that hypocrisy and ran it through the shredder. Nothing screams, we relate to the average American, like turning your post-White House life into a luxury retreat that only pauses for big money podcasts and multi-million-dollar book deals. Rogan didn't just question the optics. He tore them apart like a flashy home gym that looks great on Instagram until someone actually uses it and realizes the weights are fake. The Obamas turned public service into a personal brand, and Rogan treated it the same way he'd treat a wellness influencer claiming lavender oil and a few push-ups will cure anxiety. Meanwhile, Megyn dragged Obama's foreign policy track record like it was a group project he bailed on but still wanted full credit for. She brought up the Nobel Peace Prize situation like it was the opening zinger at a comedy roast. Because when you're handed a Peace Prize before doing anything remotely peaceful, it stops sounding like an award and starts looking like a gold star for simply not being George W. Bush.
We're on a great subject, which is like these rich and powerful people who are totally unaware of how people perceive them and how great their lives are and how little they should be complaining, period, never mind publicly. Which leads me to Michelle Obama. Every day, she's dropped another negativity bomb on us, whether on her podcast or on someone else's. I mean, this audience knows she never says anything positive. It is all complaints. So she goes on another podcast. She's promoting her show, so she's making the rounds. The Diary of a CEO podcast.
That Peace Prize aged about as well as a Blockbuster card. Megyn tore into the surveillance state like she was personally auditing the NSA. Remember when the Obama administration ramped up spying programs while grinning for the cameras like he was guest hosting Reading Rainbow? Yeah, Megyn remembered, and she spelled it all out with the sharpness of someone who actually reads declassified files instead of relying on feel-good flashbacks. Turns out, hope and change sometimes comes bundled with mass data collection and drone strikes. Rogan grabbed that baton and sprinted straight into Obama's carefully curated media legacy. Those interviews, slick documentaries, and nostalgia-heavy voiceovers. It's like the guy's gunning for an Emmy just for being an ex-president. Rogan shredded the softball questions tossed at him by late-night hosts like they were gently lobbed pitches at a billionaire-friendly t-ball game.
I know, because when we aren't, folks think we're divorced.
Look, these are the kinds of things that I just miss, right? So I don't even know this stuff's going on.
Right.
And then somebody will mention it to me, and I'm all like, what are you talking about?
People think that they're on the outs because they're not always in the same room together, Maureen. That's what she would like people to believe. Like, she had, what, 1 or 2 public appearances without him, and that's what led to the divorce speculation. That's not quite it, my dear. It's, what are the things? Oh, your word.
How can someone seem so relatable while doing everything possible to stay 3 neighborhoods away from the very people he claims to represent? Barack talks about the middle class like he's describing a rare animal he once skimmed over in a sociology textbook. Megyn ripped into the patronizing glow that always seems to trail behind Obama like he's the walking, talking embodiment of a TEDx talk, slick, rehearsed, and oddly empty once you actually listen to what he's saying. He's the kind of guy who can say nothing at all for 15 minutes and still get a standing ovation like he just cured a major disease. But his actual record tells another story. Deportation stats high enough to stun his defenders, overseas conflicts that quietly escalated, and domestic rifts wide enough to fit a presidential motorcade through. Then came the money trail. Oh, the post-presidency cash flow. Rogan laughed at the absurdity of those speaking fees like they were a slap in the face to anyone with a real job. Hundreds of thousands per appearance just to deliver a polished TED-style recap about what it was like being adored in public.
Instant affectation, like, oh, my man. And like she doubles down in the following clip. It's just over the top. And here it is, 37.
There hasn't been one moment in our marriage where I thought about quitting my man. And we've had some really hard times, so we have had a lot of fun times, a lot of adventures, and I have become a better person because of the man I'm married to.
There ain't been 1 minute when I thought about quitting my man. Now, she doesn't talk like that, right? Who does she think she's kidding? It's quitting, like it has no T's or a G. My man. Okay, she's like, there's something going on there where she's really acting in order to be like down home and I love my man and trust me. And like the whole thing to me looked like a complete affectation.
Megyn added fuel to the fire by highlighting how the Obamas, who once billed themselves as champions of the people, ended up cashing in on the very institutions they once criticized: Wall Street, corporate media, and publishing powerhouses. That outsider image disappeared faster than an Obama-era red line. Michelle, naturally, didn't escape this financial takedown. She's not just a former First Lady, she's a brand, an empire, a walking motivational poster in Lululemon. But while she lectures Americans on decency, Rogan reminded everyone that the couple's true skill lies in Olympic-level mental gymnastics, preaching humility while being chauffeured between mansions. Rogan joked they probably rehearsed their empathy speeches while being fanned by interns clutching Whole Foods bags. Megyn closed by driving home the celebrity obsession that defined Obama's presidency and followed him into his post-White House fame. America didn't just elect a leader, they crowned a pop culture icon. But beneath the charm was policy failure, performative virtue signaling, and an endless cycle of speeches that sounded inspiring but achieved very little. Obama was like the world's best life coach who gives you a rousing pep talk, and then forgets to pay your rent.